The Parry Sound-Muskoka NDP Riding Association has nominated Erin Horvath as their candidate for this provincial election. The nomination meeting and campaign kickoff happened on May 12th in Huntsville.
So my background is in community development. That's what I'm formally trained in. My master's is in community development with a focus on social change. And I'm working on my doctorate in education that focuses on this big fancy thing called social entrepreneurship, which basically means sustainably building change and growth in communities in a way that builds the social fabric of that community.
One of the key issues Horvath would like to address should she be elected include the disparity between high and low income across Parry Sound-Muskoka.
I think that there's a coming together, and I think it's the difference between spending money and investing money, and knowing the difference. So finding what is it that we need to do to invest in this region that would change the health determinants. So those are the things that are not just your biology, right? But they're the things that socially set the stage for success. They include things like housing, right? Education, transportation to get places, infrastructure, right? All of those things, which ironically are also the things that you need in order to grow business. So they don't have to be the opposite things. They can be exactly the same things working together.
Other policies in the NDP platform Horvath spoke about included getting rid of the EQAO standardized testing in schools, a funding plan that will enable hospitals to stay open in Muskoka, bringing back Hydro One in public's hands, and free childcare for low-income families, to name a few. Residents were able to ask Horvath questions as well on the NDP policies, one of which surrounded what would be done to help and protect the elderly.
So they're investing in the extra workers that are needed to ensure that in long-term care, each senior has 4 hours of hands-on care. So actual interaction and engagement that way. That's one thing. And for people in long-term care, they're revisiting the Residents' Bill of Rights, the Long-Term Care Residents' Bill of Rights. So that's something that's looking at the need for seniors to have stronger policies and laws in place to advocate for them. One of the challenges that we've had with my grandparents, who 2 of them recently just passed away, and there wasn't anything in place for us as granddaughters to protect them from some mistreatment that was happening by our own family member. So one of the things the NDP is doing for people who choose to live in their own home is allowing them the option to defer taxes until, like property taxes, until they sell their property.
Horvath also discussed the NDP promise to improve relations with First Nations communities, including here in Parry Sound-Muskoka.
All of the things we were talking about with education, healthcare, whatever, each of these are all exacerbated when it comes to First Nations peoples. And one of the things that I'm very pleased that the NDP is doing is, I believe, doubling their contribution to the, they call it the First Nations Health Action Plan. So there's that. They're giving contributions to the friendship centers to start to update their services, because that really is the heart of community if you're in an urban town or city. So these are sort of things that, while it's not, we're in Huntsville today and it's not something that may be on everyone's mind, I think that there's a lot of work to do in our region to start to bridge those conversations.